El Metro is also known for its urban legends and scary paranormal encounters, from its scary dark tunnels to getting lost in track time when going to your destination. 20 minutes could actually run up to hours and hours without you knowing. Or riding by yourself one evening and running into phenomenons. Hello everybody and welcome back to Creepshow, and today I present to you Scary Mexico City Subway Encounters. The scary tale takes place at the last metro station on Line 7, the Orange Line. The end of this line is called Barranca del Muerto, which translates to Ravine or Gully of the Dead. The station bears this name because it was built near the site of mass grave, a trench filled with the bodies of soldiers killed during the Mexican Revolution in the early part of the 20th century. The famous legend involving Barranca del Muerto begins when the metro ends in the wee hours of the morning, when all the trains stop. A man who fell asleep on the train suddenly woke up to find that he was alone in the train car, and the train was parked in the tunnel for the night. He got out the train and onto the tracks, where he spotted two men fighting in the tunnel. One was taller than the other, and it looked like he was killing the shorter man. The man who fell asleep went over to the two men to try and break up the fight, and that is when he noticed that the taller man was biting the neck of the other man, which was bleeding profusely. After this, the man ran as fast as he could to the police station, where he told the authorities about what he had witnessed, believing it was a vampire. Some people say the legend is based on a true story, and that the other person was just witnessing a bad drunk fight. Others say that this was a made-up story to scare teens who would fall asleep on the late-night train. But you never know. The Gray Line meets the Green Line at the Green Line's northern terminus at a station called Garibaldi. The station is named for Plaza Garibaldi, an important landmark nearby named after Giuseppe Garibaldi, the second soldier in the Mexican Revolution serving under Francisco Madero. Since the station opened in 1994, hundreds of commuters and transit workers have reported seeing a floating woman wearing all black, including a black veil. Sometimes she appears only in silhouette form and seems to glide gracefully over the platform, and the tracks not making a sound. Sometimes her appearance is scarier and more hideous. Beneath the veil is the face of a haggard old woman, intending to do harm or cause any commotion. She is said to go after unintended children to take back to her lair located somewhere within the depths of the subway tunnels. Some believe that the apparition is not a witch, but the ghost of a minor Spanish noblewoman whose family owned the land surrounding the metro station during colonial times, and her spirit is seen to be condemned to haunt the Garibaldi train station for being unfaithful to her husband and other crimes. What do you guys think? Ghost or witch? Metro Line 5, the yellow line, stops at Benito Juarez International Airport. It is the busiest airport in all Latin America, and the yellow line provides vital transportation link to the rest of the city. The terminal area metro station sees tens of thousands of passengers per day. Some of these passengers reported the same paranormal sight. The story has little variation. A young girl, elementary school age, is playing with a red ball. She loses control over the ball, and it bounces to the unsuspecting experiencer. The person picks up the ball to hand it to the little girl, at which point the little girl asks the stranger to tie her shoe. That person bends over to tie her shoe. That person sees the legs of the little girl disappear, and then the rest of the body vanishes. In some variations of the story, the girl growls and her eyes turn black before she disappears, as if she were possessed or was overtaken by an evil force. In one other version of the story, the ball the little girl plays with is the actual head of the little girl, and when the helper catches it, they will drop it in horror. The olive-colored Metro Line 3 is the longest line in the whole Mexico City subway network. It runs north to south from the Indios Verdes station to the Universidad. A small northern tunnel section of this line draws a lot of attention from curiosity seekers who have heard strange stories of unusual creatures spotted between Teateloco and La Raza stations. According to urban legends and some eyewitnesses' accounts, rats as large as dogs roam the tracks and have even attacked people. As early as the 1970s, rumors spread of a rat the size of a pig that came out of the darkness of the tunnel and killed a young girl while she was waiting for a train on the metro platform with her parents. Transit workers and commuters alike have also reported seeing a hunched-over deformed humanoid figure covered in fur lurking around the tracks in the semi-darkness of the tunnels near Teateloco station. Further south along this same line, Metro Line 3, a similar creature has been spotted in the tunnels near the Viveros station. Commuters call this creature Ratman, and passengers have reported shrill shrieking sounds, which are attributed to this Ratman. Traveling through the heart of Mexico City, Blue Line cuts through what 500 years ago would have been the center of the ancient Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan. On this line, strange apparitions have appeared before transit workers and travelers at both the Pino Sanchez and Zocalo stations. In all stories, the ghostly being is always dressed in indigenous clothing from pre-conquest times. In many versions of the story, the man sometimes appears to be crying, perhaps longing for a time in a city that once was. In other versions, the man interacts with people in a friendly way and even speaks to them. The Aztec ghost in metro stations is supposedly speaking to modern-day people in his native language, and these people understand him. And in some stories, he asks startled commuters what has happened and where he is as if he were lost. In other versions of the story, he is dressed as a jaguar knight and is eager to rejoin his fellow warriors for a battle. Some of these sightings have reached the local news media and have many Mexico City residents believing that these Aztec ghosts are real and are trapped in our time. There's lots of stories out there about this train in Mexico City, and it was one of the first trains to unfortunately run over and kill a person. A lot of conductors consider this train cursed and haunted, in which they decided to ditch it for a couple of years. And it wasn't until the year 1985, during one of Mexico's earthquakes, that it did major impact, and the train was used once again, but in the most sinister way. Conductors reported that this train was used to transport the dead bodies of the deceased ones that died in different parts of the city because of the earthquake. The train was once used years later. People who had the chance to ride this train had reported horrible smells and weird stains on the train's floors. Conductors were assured that when they would take the train back to the garage, they'd encounter shadows, and were able to listen to whispers and whimpers. And to this day, no one's sure if the train's still being used. It is said that at 3 a.m. an empty train is seen moving from Zocalo to Allende station. It doesn't stop at any of these stations, it just passes by and then disappears until the next day. Some say that this may be related to the accident that happened in 1975 where at least 31 people died. The accident happened in Viaducto station, but it was the same line that takes you there. And it's the worst accident in Mexico City subway history, and is very shady. It is also said that if you are sleeping and don't get down the terminal on the last train, you will end up in a ghost terminal, from where you cannot go out, and you will keep traveling and see things like strange creatures and some zombie-like vampires. And that was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you would like to see up next. I would like to thank you all for the support that you've been giving me. I really appreciate it. This was Creepshow, and I wish you all a good scare.